Secret Life Christmas present special with me, yours truly. Some of us like to live dangerously, is what the late Michael Jackson said at the MTV Music Awards back in 1995. But the track used for this special episode fits in perfectly for this UK #1 Best Bitch on the Soapbox. Today is exactly 30 years that Kim Tate has been in Emmerdale, and I want to celebrate it with a film I put together and go through some of the most memorable favourite storylines with Kim, from her affairs to feuds with Frank and Chris to even being pushed off the balcony last year at Home Farm. A massive hello to the girl who portrays the baddest bitch ever on the box, and that's the lovely Claire King, who I have on occasions chatted to on Twitter. So hello Claire, happy 30 years in the Dales, on and off, and I just want to wish you a very happy Christmas as well, and I look forward to seeing Kim causing more trouble in the Dales. Join me and some of my key Secret Life guest hosts as I say, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax as we watch a film entitled Kim Tate and 30 Years in Emmerdale.
You buy an extravagant watch for your boyfriend and you tell me that I am making a mountain out of a molehill?
Frank, it's not like that.
I own the place.
I'm sorry, who is this woman?
Kim Tate.
Yeah, you don't mess with her.
So she's Joe's mum?
That's his step-gran, actually.
I know, I don't look it.
Who are you?
Can't you tell, Frank? It's me. It's Kim.
Kim. And now even he can see that you're no better than a common prostitute. You little bitch! Can you tell me the quickest way to Home Farm?
We meet again. Surprise, surprise. Half of you are related. I don't take orders from an ex-prostitute.
I think I'll have a drink. Care to join me?
Hello, Kim. Come on, you're smart.
No, I prefer my men to act like men and stick to their word.
You used to do.
You! How dare you? Oh, I'm sure he will. You know, you really shouldn't leave cash lying around the house. I'll have the last word, Frank. I always have, and I always will. Choose your weapon. If you were a murderer, what sort of murderer would you be? A bad one?
Because the victim's still alive.
Wrong. Because you got the wrong girl.
You bitch!
I want my son!
I would rather watch than watch you take my son. Oh.
You're a dinosaur, Frank. Do you know what happened to them? Cheers to life. This one's on me.
You've got no evidence.
I'm sure something could be arranged.
Go to hell!
You're not going anywhere till we've got this sorted out.
Big mistake, Biff. You should have remembered what happened to Nick. I don't let farmhands get in my way.
I'm not scared of you.
David's a big boy now.
So, Kim Tate first appeared on the 12th of December 1989. Kim had an affair with Frank Tate while she had been working as his secretary. They later married after Frank's first wife Jean died of cancer. Kim had originally got on well with her stepchildren Chris and Zoe. And despite receiving negative greetings from other villagers, they eventually settled in and became very happy at home farm.
Excuse me. Can you tell me the quickest way to home farm, please?
Pardon?
Can you tell me the quickest way to home farm?
Go straight to end at field.
I'll dock your pocket money if you don't watch it.
Yes.
Frank!
However, Kim fell pregnant and tragically miscarried, which Frank then turned to alcohol to numb the pain. Kim befriends the Right Honourable Neil Kincaid, a family friend, who is much closer to Kim's age. Both Neil and Kim travel to auctions together and eventually, realising their attraction to each other, began an affair. Kathy, who was Chris's wife at the time, discovered a hotel bill that Neil accidentally dropped at home farm. Disaster later struck on Christmas Day, 1992.
I'm married. Still haven't answered the question. I've never been any good at disguising my emotions either. Ooh, I wouldn't say that. Shall we go?
Molehill, Frank.
You buy an extravagant watch for your boyfriend, and you tell me that I am making a mountain out of a molehill?
Frank, it's not like that.
Next you'll be telling me it was just a simple gift for a friend.
It was.
Too expensive, love.
Dad.
Keep out of it.
Frank, please. We can talk about it.
Talk? It's a bit bloody late to talk. I bet you and the Honourable Neil Kincaid didn't spend a lot of time talking. I want you out of my house. Now!
Frank, please, we can sort this out.
I said now!
Dad, please!
Quiet!
You can't do this, Frank!
Can't I? You just watch me.
Frank! Frank!
Frank and Kim divorced in 1993, which shortly after, Kim set up horse stables alone under her maiden name, Kim Barker. It did not last long, as a plane crash in December 1993, before I was born, destroyed the stables, killing most of the horses.
What about the horses?
There's nothing we can do.
We can't just leave them. Dark stars in there.
We've got to be practical. You get your stuff out of the caravan. The second it gets too hot, you get out and stay out. You don't let the village see what's happened.
Just what could have happened?
I don't know. Have you fixed that hose pipe? No!
We need you here.
I'll get back as soon as I can. Something big's happened down there, and Chris and Zoe are in the village. Don't you take any chances. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Frank and Kim put their differences aside and they got back together, and despite Frank's children, Chris and Zoe's opinions, they were married in December 1994.
Okay.
Yes. Catching up on me a bit, I guess.
It's understandable. Probably best to let it end.
Yeah.
I think I better be going. To search for Archie.
Oh, yeah. Good luck.
I'll see you later, Dad.
Yeah, I'll see you.
You look done in.
Oh, I'll be okay. It's been one hell of a year, hasn't it, Kim? Since we split up.
Yeah. I don't think I'd ever want to go through all that again.
Still, look on the bright side. Next one can only be an improvement.
I think things have started to get better for me already.
Now, there's a coincidence. Just thinking the same thing myself.
I'll take you home, Frank. I'll explain.
The community.
1995, Kim yet again cheated on Frank by having yet another affair, this time with Dave Glover, who at the time is the boyfriend of Chris's now ex-wife Kathy. Here's a clip of Kathy's brother Nick confronting Kim, knowing about her deceit.
I didn't think you'd turn up, Kim.
What on earth do you think you're playing at?
I just couldn't stand by and watch you get away with it.
You're way out of your depth. Why didn't you run along home while you still can?
I don't have a home, remember? Thanks to you.
You stole from Tate Holdings. You're lucky we didn't prosecute.
That's very moral of you. And where do you stand on adultery?
Why don't you just get to the point of this silly little game?
This is not a game, Kim. You see, I need money for Alice.
And you think I'll give it to you?
Well, if you don't, I'll tell Frank that his beloved little wife has been having an affair again. He may well have forgiven you once, but this time he'll see you for what you really are.
You're an embittered ex-employee. Why should he believe you?
Because I'll make him believe me.
You're just a sad little boy.
And what does that make you, Kim?
You're wasting my time. Now, is there anything else before I go?
I've lost everything because of you. You know that? My home, my job, my self-respect. But there's one thing I am not going to lose, Kim, and that is my daughter.
First a thief, and now a blackmailer. You don't deserve to keep her.
I love that kid. Not something you'd ever understand.
If I hear another word from you, I'll go to the authorities. I'll have Alice taken away before you know what's hit you.
Do you know what it's like to have nothing, eh? You know, without Frank's money behind you. Because that is the reason why you went back to him, isn't it, eh? Because you couldn't bear to be without the cash. But I'm going to see you poor, Kim. I'm going to see you kicked out of that house without a single penny.
I don't have to listen to this.
I'm not finished with you yet, Kim.
Let go, Nick.
Oh! Oh!
Oh! Like to be me? No. Well, think about it now. All my friends. People in the hunt. People in the village. Acquaintances. Kathy. She stitched me up.
You leave her out of this.
I'm really sorry, Kim.
Don't be so pathetic.
I didn't know how to tell you.
You wanted me. You couldn't resist it every single chance you got. Could you? Could you?
When you're not here, it's not that simple. I keep thinking of Kathy and Frank and reality.
Yeah, well, it's about time the fairy princess up there learned about reality.
No, Kim, don't.
Get out of my way!
No! It's not going to solve anything.
Let go of me.
All right, don't be impatient.
Why should I suffer? Why not her? I've risked everything for you.
I know that.
You found me more exciting than her, didn't you?
Yes.
You couldn't help yourself.
It don't make me feel better. Don't make it right.
I offered you everything. My money, me, everything.
What sort of future would we have had?
We can have it all.
It's finished.
Do you really think that you'll be able to say no when I call? No. I know you won't. Because you need me in a way that she can't start to understand.
And here's the moment Frank finally confronts Dave and Kim.
You call this, Dave? Overtime?
Kim and Dave resumed their relationship and planned to run away together, even though his new wife Kathy forgave him for his affair with Kim. Sadly, Dave met a nasty end on Boxing Day in 1996, rescuing baby James from a fire, when a fire broke out at the home farm.
Oh, Tina, have you changed your mind?
No, I just thought I'd tell you, before you start looking for a new wife, sort out the one you've got. Dave Glover's on his way to own farm now.
Come on. You sleep well, darling.
What's going on?
I'm leaving you, Frank.
Ah, that's great news. And I hope you take your toy boy with you, because that's all you're going to get. You've bled me dry long enough.
Oh, don't worry. I don't want the money. I don't want anything that's yours anywhere near me.
Then the two of you might as well go now. Because I'm sure you don't want to wait till Kathy finds out.
We're going. First, I need to collect my baby.
Oh, no, you don't. James stays with me. He's mine.
Because you bought him? There isn't enough money in the world to make anybody believe that he's your son. Open your eyes, Frank. The whole village can see you for what you really are. A pathetic old fool who's not man enough to face the truth.
It's over, Frank. Just let us go.
You think I'm finished? I've hardly started. All my life I fought for what is mine. And you think I'm going to let a farmhand and that thing take it away from me? You want James. You're going to have to kill me first.
You're an old man with a dodgy heart, Frank. You can't stop us, and you know it.
Kim, I'll handle this.
I'm not wasting any more time. We've got a plane to catch. Now just get out of my way, Frank. It's over.
I warned you. You think I'd let scum like you get away with this?
I'm not gonna fight you.
You don't have any choice.
David!
I've got him! Get out!
David!
Go!
Call the fire brigade! The nursery! I'll get a ladder! Frank! Hand him out to me! Go on. Go on, gently.
There you go.
No, hold on. You got him. Okay, I've got him.
David!
I'll have to go back through the bedroom. It's the only way!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
The smell of fire, it's everywhere, even in the yard.
The fire officer would like to ask you some questions.
If it's no bother.
Ask away.
There's the remains of a small case. A vanity case, perhaps.
So?
Would you happen to know what was in it?
Makeup.
Aerosols? I suppose things like perfume, nail varnish?
Well, yes, but the fire didn't start there, surely.
No. But it looks as though the flammable liquids and the explosion from the aerosols did exacerbate the fire.
You mean he'd have got out but for that?
It's impossible to say, Mrs. Tate.
I hope you're happy. I bet you are. Me! I did it! I killed Dave!
And in January 1997, Kim caused another scene at Dave's funeral, which resulted in a nasty spat between Kim and Dave's widow, Kathy.
You shouldn't have come. I don't want to cause a scene.
I said you shouldn't have come. You've got no right to be here. He didn't want you. I heard him tell you. He can't tell you now, but I can. I can speak for him. I am his wife. You blame me for everything, don't you?
Go on, get lost.
You heard him.
Well, blame me for loving David if you like. It doesn't matter. But who do you blame for the fact he was at Home Farm that night? Don't you ever give up. He was coming away with me. And James. He was leaving you.
That's enough, Kim.
Frank knows.
I know nothing of the sort.
And Biff.
So, Frank then makes it clear that he wants Kim out of Home Farm for good, after he confronted her for torturing fellow villagers, the Gulliver family, over a child that wasn't even theirs, as well as destroying her own business. Watch this next bit.
Oh, I think I'll have a drink. Care to join me? Care to live a little?
It's your last drink in this house.
Better make it a big one then. Now let me guess. You've spoken to your solicitors and you want me out. First thing. Well, pardon me for yawning, Frank, but for a self-made man, you're all talk and trousers.
You prefer yours without.
Very good. No, I prefer my men to act like men and stick to their word.
Like Glover did? When he swore eternal love and then went off and married Kathy?
But he came back to me.
So you say. Maybe it was one of your delusions. God, you've had enough of them. Sabotaging your own business. Torturing the Glovers with a grandson that isn't even theirs. God, you've hit rock bottom. I'm going to have you sectioned.
You think I'm mad?
I know it.
You've really lost it, Frank.
Not from where I'm standing.
So try it. Lock me up. Keep tabs on James. Send him to a nice school where he can learn to be a nice boy. See how far it gets you.
Sounds good enough to me.
And while you're at it, you can stop the tide coming in. He'll grow up. He's my son. You'll never be able to control him like the other two.
You won't be here to stop me.
It's in his genes. He'll bite back. You used to like that in me. Remember?
I was a fool.
They used to think I was just some trophy wife to drape across your arm. But you knew. Under that sparkly frock, I had more guts than any man you'd ever met. It used to turn you on, Frank.
You're sick. You're a bad mother, a danger to your son. And the state you're in, you're probably a danger to yourself.
I'm a danger to you.
Postnatal depression? Grief over Glover? It could be 1,000,001 things.
Grief? He saved our baby's life. Have you forgotten that?
No.
And would it have mattered if he hadn't? A man like you could always bought another one.
You little...
Go on. Do it. Prove you're still alive.
Is that what he used to do?
You... You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Who will you fight with then? You'll just shrivel up and die.
The day you leave, I can start to live again.
Don't bank on it.
Oh, I mean it. You're going. You've lost everything.
Everything? By everything you mean money.
Your home, your son, the £1,000,000.
There's more to life than money, Frank.
Come again? I didn't quite hear you right.
I said there's more to life. And that's why you'll never beat me.
I already have.
I've made sure you won't. I'll have the last word, Frank. I always have, and I always will.
It's Kim.
Is it your wife, Mr. Tate?
Yes.
A twist of fate came towards Frank's way as he was charged with Kim's murder.
I think you'd better take the baby. As I said, we've had the results of the post-mortem. Frank Tate, I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Kim Tate. What? You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defense if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. So let's go over your statement again, Mr. Tate.
We've been over it 100 times. You're just trying to confuse me. Well, it won't work. I've told you the truth, and I'm not going to change a word of it.
My client has made every effort to help with this inquiry.
She's had it in for me from the start. I know your sort. You think it'll be a real feather in your cap to bring down someone like me, don't you?
Frank.
You know, I could buy and sell you 10 times over.
I'm sure that's true, Mr. Tate. But it's not what we're here to discuss. You may be a rich and powerful man, but that doesn't put you above the law.
What?
We have statements from a number of witnesses regarding the animosity between you and Mrs. Tate. The public statement she made about her affair with David Glover, and your arrangement, under which she was due to be paid £1 million, had she not disappeared.
My client has never denied any of these things, but they don't amount to evidence of murder.
You and Mrs. Tate had a violent argument on the night of her death.
She was alive when she left Home Farm.
So you've told me. What I find surprising is that you never bothered to report her disappearance to the police. Weren't you even curious about what had happened to her?
I just thought she was playing one of her games.
With £1 million at stake, you'll need to do better than that, Mr. Tate. Yes? Detective Constable Wilde has just entered the room. Interview suspended at 23:32. D.I. Cook leaving the room.
Well, let's hope the ACC's giving her a dressing down.
Taking his time about it.
Well, that's on our side too. Well, they haven't applied for another extension, so they've only got 5 minutes left.
I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear Mr. Tate won't be undergoing any more questioning tonight.
Oh, you're releasing him?
No. I'm formally charging him with Mrs. Tate's murder.
Wife, lover, mother. These are facts we know. How she died, who she was with. We hope to find answers to these questions before too long. What she thought of her life, her comparatively short life. What she still hoped to achieve. What she thought at the last. These are things we will never be sure about, but it shouldn't stop us asking ourselves the questions. Kim Tate was not an easy woman. Prickly, I've heard her described as. A fighter, also generous. Loyal, passionate. A woman of extremes, arousing extremes of opinion in those around her. All loss is difficult, but the loss of Kim is complicated. It's bitter and confusing. Most of all for James, who barely had time to know his mother before she was snatched away from him. As he grows, he'll have to make do with photographs. Memories, or memories perhaps. But you can also comfort him with another fact, the knowledge that Kim loved him possessively and unreservedly as only a mother can. And that in different ways, at different times. You all loved her, which is why you're here today. So I ask you now to take a few moments to remember Kim at her best, and to pray that in death she finds the peace that was so lacking in the final, painful moments of her life.
It's me.
Who's me?
3 guesses.
Zoe? Hello? Are you the weirdo that's been sending me these letters? Because they're in the bin. Every one of them. Who are you?
Can't you tell, Frank? It's me. It's Kim.
Kim had in fact ran away to Mauritius and paid a stranger prostitute who looked like Kim to dress up as her and drive a car around the village to fool villagers that she was still there. And it was in fact the unknown female who was dead, not Kim. Kim's big revenge is now coming up. Sit back and enjoy.
Is that you, Sophie?
Okay? Tell me, I've got charisma. Like a rash at top of
Sophie's out. It's just you and me, Frank. What could it be, Frank?
But you're...
Dead? But I'm not dead, Frank. Feel. Smell.
We buried you. I identified the body. It was you. In that coffin.
Shh. It's all right. None of that matters. I'm back now.
I've dreamt this. It's the same dream time after time, and when I wake up and I've lost you again, the grief is as strong as the day they dredged your car out. What happened?
I had to get away. I was losing control.
Away where? They charged me with your murder. I've been locked up for months with dealers and muggers and God knows what scum. And you have been doing what? One word would have stopped it all. One word to say that you were alive.
I didn't know, Frank, I swear. When I left, it was to get away from everything. The news, the papers, people. The first clue I had was on Tuesday. I found an old newspaper in the hotel. It said you'd been released. Well, I had to stop a young English couple and ask, released from what?
Where were you?
It doesn't matter. What matters is I'm home.
Where were you?
Mauritius!
I have been to hell and back. And the biggest issue on your mind was which cocktail to order.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't. I nearly went under.
Oh, dear. Tell me about it.
Sometimes you have to lie low for a while. Lick your wounds and take stock. Until you're ready for the fight.
Fight?
Until you're ready to face the world again.
You said fight.
I miss James. I want him back, Frank.
And I thought your death was a nightmare.
What are you doing?
Looking!
Looking for what?
God, I forgot what it was like to be in the same room as you.
Frank, stop it. Where is he? I want to see my son.
No!
Your heart, Frank.
Oh, spare me your concerned wife act. I'm looking for my pills. It's no big deal. Other people would have considered the social niceties, like, how have you been? Or phoning the police. You haven't done that yet.
I told you. I came straight here.
Look, forget the plan. You're an unfit mother. Your disappearance proves that, if nothing else.
I thought we could do a deal. You give me James, and I'll clear your name.
My name is clear. I'm a free man.
Did you feel like a free man before tonight? Your freedom only proves you had the cash to buy it.
Excuse me. You're here. You are the living proof of my innocence.
Am I really, Frank?
What?
Am I really here? Nobody saw me arrive. I could slip away as easily as I slipped in. I'm a dead woman. I don't exist.
So if I killed you now, the world would never know.
I've forgotten how much I missed you, Frank. So, tell me about the funeral. Did I have a good send-off?
Far better than the next one will be.
Cuts both ways. I mean, if you were to die tonight, who'll be the prime suspect? Doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to rule your dead wife out the running. Choose your weapon. We'll play a little party game.
Oh, stop this.
If you were a murderer, what sort of murderer would you be? You first. Although, we know the answer to that already. A bad one.
Because the victim's still alive.
Wrong. Because you got the wrong girl.
You're crazy.
Little details aside. You'd go for something quick, whereas I prefer something lingering.
Like a slow incarceration for a murder that didn't take place? Am I getting warmer?
Could you go through with it? Or would you get someone else to do your dirty work? Pete McCarthy? Zoe? They all have the prize. Who did it that night, Frank? The night you thought you'd seen me off? Did you push the car over the cliff? Or stand there while someone else did?
Who was she? Tell me.
Some blonde. Some dumb blonde. As it happens. I just paid her to drive the car.
You staged this from the start, didn't you? It was always too perfect.
You say you've suffered. Well, you're still here to tell the tale. David isn't.
I'm right then.
You could call it perfect, yes. There's a, what's the word? A symmetry about it.
You killed the girl.
Nice try, Frank. But I was on the plane by then. And I can prove it. Can I tempt you?
Did she have a name?
Wendy, Sandy, something like that. She's the right build and the right price. That's all I can remember. Can we talk straight for a moment?
That'll be a first.
Do it the easy way, Frank. Retire, step aside, whatever. But give me James.
Never.
We could find you another wife. Maybe Sophie might be interested. Well, I'd hate to lose her as a nanny.
I wouldn't even dignify that with an answer.
You do that for me, and I'll go to the police. I'll explain about going away.
And what about your letter to your solicitor? Claiming that I was trying to kill you, and the phony hotel bookings, and the tales that I'm a wife-beater? That's gonna take a lot of explaining. It's called wasting police time and conspiracy.
I'll forget everything I know about the blonde, and the arrangements we made. If I don't, well, it could all start again.
What?
The interviews, the accusations, the murder charge, the remand centre.
You wouldn't be so stupid.
I paid her to dump the car at the quarry. How did she wind up in the car, in the quarry? You know, Frank. I know you do.
You bitch!
I want my son!
I would rather watch you die than watch you take my son. Go! Ambulance. Please, Kim. Help me. Whatever you want, have.
You know what I want?
Phone.
Say it.
Okay.
Say it.
Take James.
I wondered about a reconciliation. For the sake of James and the estate. It wouldn't work again. I know every trick in your book. I don't respect you anymore.
Kim, please.
You're a dinosaur, Frank. And you know what happened to them?
I cried at your funeral. I loved you, Kim. Remember? Remember, you loved me.
Cheers. To life.
Where Frank actually died the following episode as he slipped out of consciousness after his heart attack, as his daughter Zoe found him when she returned from holiday. Frank uttered Kim's last words before he died, trying to tell Zoe Kim was back. Days later, Frank's funeral took place. Everyone except Chris did not attend, and things are about to be even worse for Chris when he comes face to face with Kim.
Okay.
That's as good an excuse as any.
What are you getting at, Betty?
Think back to Dave Clougher's send-off. This place were packed at rafters.
Nay, it's come home to roost.
You've got a lot to live up to, little brother. Who's going to be around to see it? Well, you know what's expected of you. I knew what was expected, all right. That was the sad thing. I knew exactly, but failed miserably. But there's no relief now he's gone. I thought the pressure would be off, but it isn't, though. It's worse. It's unbearable. You see, I've no chance of showing him now, of getting it right. Who will you do it for? Who can you let down? You made things worse for me. Because he thought you were perfect. You would have had a lot to live up to. You're welcome. I'll leave you to it. A wide, open field. What will people tell you about your mummy and daddy?
I'll tell him not to listen to gossip. Came as soon as I heard. I couldn't believe it.
You still catch the funeral?
I know. I passed the church.
You gave up the chance of making one big, final, dramatic entrance for him.
Things have changed.
He's dead. You're dead.
You won't believe how dreadful I felt when I heard.
Sure.
Shouldn't you be there?
I'm looking after James.
Why haven't you gone? Still, Mummy's here now. Oh, I've missed you. Oh, God, have I missed you, darling. Sorry, it's only just sinking in. You really did think I was dead, didn't you? Must be terribly upsetting for you.
Not really. You don't matter anymore.
Is that the best you can do? I was expecting a more spirited response. Still, I suppose it's knocked the stuffing out of you. I mean, you were definitely second best when Frank was here. But now, in a funny way, you're even less without him. That's what all that's about, isn't it? You were going to do the decent thing. I've just walked in on your suicide. Oh, goody. So, what did you think when you heard I died?
I didn't believe you had.
Of course you did.
They buried a body.
Which you believe was me.
I still hated you as though you were still alive. I just didn't have the inconvenience of having to put up with you, that's all. But I hated you just as much. I could still see you, hear you taunting.
Oh, go on. Take the tablets.
Just like that. You really are quite predictable.
Oh, coming back from the grave isn't that predictable. Do you want me to take James for a walk? Leave you alone, you know, with your tablets. Shall I get a pen and paper? Then you could write your goodbye note. I mean, you quite rightly realised that you had nothing left in your life before I arrived. But now, things are even worse. I'm back. Your stepmother. Your father's widow. The one who's entitled to everything. There's just one thing of Frank's I know you want more than anything else.
You don't know anything about me.
Something that would let you be your own man. Show him what you're really made of. Me. It's always been me. There's not been a day when you haven't thought about me, has there? Since the first time we met.
Don't flatter yourself.
You've imagined being with me. Having me. Even when you thought I was dead. You said it. You couldn't stop hearing me. Or seeing me.
Because I hated you.
Oh, you're getting your emotions confused. It's because you love me. Hearing and seeing is one thing. But touching is another.
Christopher?
Zoe, I know how close you and your dad were.
I don't understand. What's happening?
This must be a shock.
What the hell's going on? You knew she'd be here.
What are you talking about?
This is some grotesque scheme. You planned it, and I was worried about you.
The news of Kim's return eventually sank in. She started dating Frank's business partner, Steve Marchant. Kim experienced a lot of trauma when her son James was kidnapped, which it was then revealed that it was Jan Glover, Dave's mother, who kidnapped James after suffering a breakdown.
Is it okay if we borrow this? We'll take care of it.
Don't be so damn polite. Why aren't you out there looking for my son?
Alison, I want you to tell me everything that happened up to you finding James missing.
How many more times? She went up to his room and he'd gone. Steve, why are they going round in circles?
Alison?
Mrs. Tate went to the party and I fed James. Then we played for a while and I put him to bed.
She went to check on him when we came home. Look, I've told the inspector all this.
Come on, I'll make you a cup of tea.
I must ask you not to leave the premises, Mrs. Tate.
We'll be in the kitchen. Don't know the loft spaces. Nothing.
You're Searching the house?
Standard procedure.
How often do I have to tell you? He is not here!
Kim, please. Come on.
There's no sign of forced entry. In fact, nothing.
I'm a prisoner in my own house. I want to go out and find you.
But hold on, Kim. Look, so you now accept that someone came in and took him?
I always considered that, Mr. Marchant. Now, is there anybody else who has access to this place whose names you haven't already given me?
Everyone's on the list.
When you're organising a search, there are local men down that drive who know this place like the back of their hands.
It's been taken care of right now.
Who's there, Zoe?
Seth, Terry Woods, Ned Glover.
Well, it's him, Ned Glover. He swore revenge.
Revenge for what?
No, he's capable of a lot of things, but taking a baby, come on, it's not his style.
Someone with a grudge. That's who you're looking for, isn't it? Well, why not him?
It may not be a grudge. You're a wealthy woman, Mrs. Tate.
But we'd have had a call or a note or something.
And if that happens, we'll know what we're dealing with. Now, is there anybody else? An employee you've sacked? Someone you've crossed in business?
There's an ex-nanny.
You don't mean Sophie?
Why not?
Sophie who?
Mrs. Tate's distressed, we all are, but I see no point in lashing out in all directions.
Sophie Wright.
An address?
Ask her. They were lovers.
With his mates probably doing God knows what. Oh. Just each other again, love. No bad thing, eh? Oh, come on. Let's see if Daddy's coming. Let's have a look.
Kim, if it's blackmail, you really should.
Hello?
Mrs. Tate, we agreed.
Where is he? What have you done with my baby?
Look, if it's money you want, we can... It's dead.
Why did you have to interfere?
Kim, stop it!
He's got my baby!
Did he say so? What did he say?
I didn't have a chance to say anything, you stupid idiot! Just leave me alone, both of you.
Go on. Please.
Zoe, he rang. He's gonna kill my baby. Now I know it.
One day he'll have lots of brothers and sisters. And Daddy'll have a big farm all of his own. He won't be working for the Verneys up at home farm then. That's why he can't be here now. Because he has to work hard. All day long. Starts getting dark, so he'll be home soon. He'll tell you a story. He might even read to you. Look. Rupert. Rupert the bear. You like him, don't you? Yeah. Yes.
Says he needs to see you.
Not now, Roy.
Look, Kim, I need a word. Alone. Right, before I say out, you've got to promise me not to say a word to any of them out there.
Who, the police? Roy, if you know
Look,
something...
please.
Yeah, all right, I promise.
My dad thinks that my mum might have James.
What?
Like, she's just been acting a little bit...
Where?
The old maternity ward where our Dave were born, St Mary's.
But that's derelict.
Yeah, we know that, but my dad's going to have a look now.
Come on, we've got to go. Roy, go out this way. You won't see us going. Oh, I'll just go and get my mobile. Here, you start the car.
Give us the baby and we'll go home.
This is home.
Oh, look at it, Jan. It's derelict.
I've made it as nice as I can.
Come home, it'll avoid trouble.
Are you threatening me? Everyone said what a good catch you were, even my mother, if they knew what you were really like. Who's that?
What the hell are you doing here? You stupid!
Oh, shush, she'll frighten Davy.
Look, it's all right, Mum. Nurse has come to take David for some tests.
What tests?
Just his hearing and that. You like playing ball, don't you? Come on, let's go play ball.
Who are you?
She's just one at nurses. Look, Mum, he's going to be fine. Honest. Come on. He's a good boy. He's very bright, you know.
Yeah, he is. Got more brains than his dad. Okay, I've got him. Come and get her.
Kim, you promised.
Janice Glover, you're under arrest.
What's happening?
You do not have to...
James was reunited with his mother, Kim, and Steve married in 1998, which clearly seems that Kim is happy until Steve reveals a shattering revelation.
Well, I'll see you in a while. You and me are going to be absolutely brilliant.
So long as we share everything from now on. No secrets.
This is the biggest one you pulled off.
He who dares.
You've not won yet, old mate.
I can't.
Well, join me in a minute.
I can't face anyone.
You all right?
Why couldn't you see through me? I couldn't have kept the pretense up if you'd challenged me.
What is it? Tell me. We are married.
And we're broke. Absolutely flat broke. We've lost everything.
We?
You and I. Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Marchant. Bankrupt. Poor little lad's knackered. He was asleep when we got back, so I put him to bed for an hour or so. Is that okay?
It's absolutely fine.
Drink?
Why not? If I get drunk enough, it might stand as mitigating circumstances.
Not now, Kim, not you. I've had it from all sides all day. I don't need it from you.
No, of course you don't. Poor baby, you've had a terrible time. Walking my son off his feet because you were too ashamed to face me. Am I such a terrifying prospect?
I don't take any pleasure in what's happened, you know?
In what's happened? Like it was some terrible accident. Unfortunate but couldn't be helped. You should think yourself very lucky that I am totally penniless.
Why's that?
Because I'd have asked Zoe to put you down. Only I couldn't afford the damn vet's bill.
That's enough.
Oh, I don't think so. Look, a matching pair.
You never make a bowler.
That one was just for me. Why should I worry? None of this belongs to me anymore. You've made sure of that. Yours!
Your weight, James!
Everybody's worried about James all of a sudden. Well, pity you didn't think about that when you were going behind my back with Chris. How many others knew what you were up to? Tara? Your dead father, who miraculously turned up at the wedding.
That's a wedding present.
No! Get off me! I said get off me! I'm warning you!
Oh, you'll do what? I won't be the first husband you've outlived. Anything I can do, you've done it better. Except you do it for yourself. If I schemed and conned, it's because I wanted you.
You wanted the money, you piece of scum!
If that's the case, why am I still here? There's no money left. I'm here because I love you and James. You still haven't answered my question.
I don't give a toss why you're still here.
If you want me to go, I'll go.
Oh, no. Don't think you can get out of it that easily. I'm glad you love James, because you're going to be spending an awful lot of time looking after him while I earn us a living.
The couple became on the verge of a financial bankruptcy, and they planned to fix everything by stealing a horse and selling it after replacing it with an older horse in the hope that nobody would notice. In September 1998, Steve stole the horse box and Needy managed to flee scot-free until he ended up running over Kathy Glover.
Kim.
Yeah.
I've done something stupid.
What?
He's waiting to talk to you. I shouted through the bedroom door. It's about the fun run. He wants to know whether you're doing the 4 miles.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Look, just don't worry about it, okay? Kathy? Oh, my God.
Steve, no! Kathy?
Kim, wait, you don't understand.
Get off me!
I had to do it.
Shut up.
There was no other way.
I said shut up! She's still breathing. She's coming round and get out now. Have you gone mad?
Kim, we don't have a choice. Listen to me. Kathy started talking. If she tells them what she knows, we've got to stop her talking to the police.
Kim stopped Steve from killing Kathy, and after Kathy came round, Kim told her the truth about her hit and run, but failed to reveal her part in the horse robbery. Kathy reports Steve to the police and he is charged. Later, Kathy questions herself on how true Kim's words were. Kim then realises the police are on her trail and has no option but to escape the village. Kim discovers her stepson Chris has found the money that Kim buried in Frank's grave, and she goes round to confront Chris.
Hello, Kim. I was beginning to think you weren't coming. A whiskey, or would you prefer a G&T?
I haven't got time for this, Chris. What do you want?
Relax. Jury won't return a guilty verdict for several hours yet.
I know you've got my money, so stop playing games.
This isn't a game, I can assure you. No, you've got plenty of time. Unless there's somewhere else you've got to be. That is what you're planning to do, isn't it? Run away?
I want my money, Chris.
You shouldn't have danced on my father's grave. You buried him. Now I'm going to bury you.
I don't think so. I'm not going to let you stop me.
What are you going to do? Kill me? Go on. Come on, you're smarter than that, Kim. You can't get rid of me. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, it does to me.
If you want to get out of here, you need that money. But with the time you've got, you'll never find it. You need me, Kim. Frustrating you were this close to getting away with it. You know, I watched you when you were here at my father's house. When you brought Glover in to sleep under his roof.
Jealous, were you?
And then when you moved in with Steve, started to play happy families. I kept watching you. You see, I knew it would have to happen again sometime. Your lies, your little games. You got away with murder. Not this time.
What do you want?
I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet.
You must want something. Why am I here, Chris? What do you really want?
Actually, there is one thing. Let's say it's an act of redemption for both of us. Something to salvage from all the pain you've caused.
Just tell me what you want.
I want James.
You can't do this to me!
You haven't got time to argue. You give me James, I won't stop you leaving. I'll give you the money, I'll even help you pack.
I can't!
Look, if you go to prison, they'll take him away from you anyway.
Chris, I'm begging you. I'll give you anything else you want.
I want James.
But
You're not in a position to bargain, Kim. It is up to you, your choice.
You're just using James to get at me.
No, I'm doing it because I care about him. He's my brother.
He's my son!
After what you've done, you're not fit to be his mother. You made the rest of my family's life a misery. I'm not going to let you do the same to him.
I love him!
Like you love my father. James is the only thing left of his, the one thing that you didn't ruin. I'm not going to leave him with you. You killed his father.
Frank died of a heart attack.
No, I don't believe you.
Is the truth?
The truth is you'd say anything to save your neck. Now be a good girl and go and fetch my brother.
No!
Then you're going to jail. What do you think will happen if you take James with you? He'll grow up wanting to know about his father. And then what? He'll find out the truth, and he'll end up hating you.
You're trying to buy him the same way Frank bought you and Zoe.
My father loved us.
I'd do anything for James. Frank wouldn't. Oh, he cared about his house and his money, but he didn't give a damn about you. There was only one person he ever loved. Me.
He hated you.
Oh, believe me, Chris, Frank loved me to death. You couldn't stand it, could you? Feeling that jealous?
It wasn't jealousy.
You lost somebody you loved, and now you think it's my turn. The trouble is, you don't really want James.
Believe me, if it saves him from you, I do.
Saves him or you. You lost somebody you loved, but it wasn't Frank, was it? It was me.
No.
Frank's gone now. There's nothing to stop you. What's the matter, Chris? It's what you've always dreamed about.
No.
Ever since you met me, it's always been me.
I hate you.
It's not hate. This is what it's all been about. You and me.
Please.
It's what you want. It's what we both want.
One lie too many, Kim. Did you really think I'd believe you?
Chris.
You want your money? Here. It's all you're worth. Keep the change. I used to wonder what went on in your head. If you ever thought about what you'd done, if you ever felt ashamed, or if you'd managed to bury every last scrap of decency in you. Well, now I know. I pity you.
Do you think I wanted it to be like this? I did what I had to because I didn't have any choice.
We all have choices.
You wouldn't understand. You've always had money. When I came here, I had nothing. You talk about choice, Chris, but when you haven't got any money, there aren't any choices.
So you think pleading poverty, it justifies what you did to us?
Come on, Chris. You loved it. All of you. Seeing just how far I'd go. You spent your whole life in the sidelines, watching me, just wishing it was you.
I wasn't envious. You could have had anything you wanted.
All I wanted was a house, a husband, and a child. A normal life just like everybody else. But I couldn't. None of you would let me. Not David. Not Frank. Not even Steve. You know, he was the one who came to me with the idea for the theft. I said I didn't want to, but it was no use. He didn't think of me as a wife. I was just an accomplice.
He loved you. They all did.
They didn't love me. They loved what they thought I was.
Oh, we all knew exactly what you were.
No, you didn't. You'd all made your minds up that I was the rich bitch. Well, that was it. I couldn't change. 'Cause you wouldn't let me. But I couldn't get out. It just went on and on. I thought if I left, James and I, we could forget the past, start again. James deserves another chance, even if I don't. And now it's too late. It's never going to end. I can't stand it.
That was quite a performance. You don't stop, do you? You almost had me fooled. Almost.
You think I... Don't you understand? It's over, Chris. You win.
Do you really expect me to feel sorry for you?
No. You're not capable of feeling anything, except hate.
For you? I guess we have to accept we're just not compatible. You say potato, and I say potato.
You are pathetic.
You see, it's those little things that irritate me. Like running Kathy down, killing my father. Call me picky, but they get in the way.
You know, I pity you.
Yeah, it's not pity.
You'd even destroy your own brother. Truth is, you've got nothing in your life that's worth having.
Except my freedom. Speaking of which, it's rather late. Don't let me keep you. After all, it is your big day in court. You'll need your beauty sleep.
You're a fool, Chris. If you could have just let go of the past, you could have had anything. Maybe even me.
You think I'd ever believe that?
No, I don't. Because you'd have to think and feel like a normal person, and you don't. Not anymore.
Goodbye, Kim.
I guess I should thank you for making me choose.
Don't worry. I'm sure James will appreciate having a martyr in the family.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Kim?
Where's the money? The money! Where is it? Oh. I am not in the mood for practical jokes. I want the key. Where is the key? Where is it? Do you want me to leave you there? Don't you think I would? Or shall I tell you a secret? You were right all along about Frank. I was there when he died. And I left him too. It was a heart attack. I didn't have to do a thing. See, that's one good point about being married to an alcoholic. I don't fight back.
No.
I just left him to it. Sad, really. Poor old Frankie died of fright. Right in front of me. Right where you are now.
Please help me.
The key.
Whiskey.
How appropriate. Just like your father. He thought the key to life was in the bottom of a bottle.
Yeah. Help me.
You know, you really shouldn't leave cash lying around the house. Nearly forgot.
Please.
You know, I'll miss you. It's been fun. I'll tell you what, there is one thing I can do for you that I couldn't do for Frank. Here. This one's on me. Bye, Chris.
Imagine.
No. Kim Tate.
In 2013, after 14 years of evading arrest, Kim was arrested and sent to prison, whilst James was sent to boarding school. In November 2018, Kim Tate made the shocking return to the village after being released from prison. She brought home Farm and forced her step-grandson Joe out of the village via Graham Foster, his secret third husband. She makes enemies with Charity Kane and Debbie Dingle, as well as other villagers. Enjoy this short clip from last year.
Keys?
Really? They're in the ignition.
Not the car, obviously. The house.
Welcome home, Kim.
It's been a long time. You know, it's true what they say. You learn a lot in prison. Careful who you trust. Do it to them before they do it to you. And if you really want something, I mean really want it, don't let anything or anybody stand in your way. Nice dress, hun.
Yeah, and she was supposed to be getting married today, but he's done a disappearing act.
So you're Debbie.
Let's go inside, shall we?
Where is Joe?
Down a bunk, darling.
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
You obviously don't know the spoilt brat as well as I do.
Inside now.
I'd just like to say that the auction is officially over. It's time to celebrate my homecoming, and you're all my guests. So please, do come inside. Cheers, everybody. Look, sweetheart, the only person Joe really loves is himself. Fact. So just accept it, all right?
No, I won't accept it, because none of this makes any sense.
He wouldn't just up sticks anyway, because he couldn't, because everything he owns is here.
He owns nothing. Not even the suit on his back. You did get it off him before he left.
I'm at it too. Joe's my brother, but he never mentioned you.
Oh, you must be Noah.
Yeah?
Well, I'm sorry to break this to you, kid, but you won't be seeing your brother again. I wouldn't get too upset. He never really cared for you much anyway. I mean, why would he? You're half dingle. And with Chris Tate as a father, well, let's just say the odds are severely stacked against you.
Watch your mouth. You're a nasty piece of work, aren't you?
And you are?
Vanessa Woodfield, local vet.
And my girlfriend, so watch your tongue.
I don't take orders from an ex-prostitute.
Enough.
I know you're trying to find out who did this to me, but the truth is, I don't know what happened. I'd drunk a lot of champagne. Could have just tripped.
Noted, thanks. But I'm here on another matter. You were seen driving a car that was being auctioned yesterday without insurance.
Oh, really? Well, who saw me?
You know I can't divulge that specific information, but there were several witnesses.
It's immaterial. She was on private land.
We have images from traffic cameras. You were caught speeding. It's clearly you driving, Miss Tate.
Well, write me up a ticket. We'll pay the fine now.
Can't do that, I'm afraid. These offences put you in breach of your prison licence, so I'll be driving you straight back to jail, where you'll serve out the rest of your sentence in full. You had 6 months left, I believe?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. You can't. This is completely out of order. Well, police harassment, victimisation. I have served my time. You can't do this to me.
It was meant to be a happy day.
Well, that was certainly worth a Christmas present special episode, well worth watching. I hope you enjoyed it. A massive thank you to Velvet, Snatch, Tragedy, Risky, Lucifer and Ivy for their help and contributions towards this episode. Happy 30 years, Kim Tate. Thank you so much for watching from all my colleagues and me on The Key Secret Life. Until the next time, goodbye.
Oh, look. Emmerdale's own killer granny.
Eh? What you on about?
If Charity didn't push me off that balcony, I knew it had to be you.
How did you find out?
From you, just now. It was a lucky guess, but I knew you'd be stupid enough to give yourself away if I was right.
You can't prove it was her. You got no evidence.
You think I'd go to the police over a nobody like her?